How many have been on a roller coaster ride? Yeah, I could equate my life having been on a roller coaster ride, the things that I went through in my life. I remember in 1985, I was very, very fortunate and honored to teach the Dale Carnegie course. After I became a class member, I wanted to go further in the class. It was a part-time job at night, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was public speaking, human relations. Mr. Carnegie was a great author, wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is still selling today. And I taught the course, and it was public speaking and human relations. And at the end of the class, when everybody left, I was setting up the room the way it was when I walked into the room because we had to change the chairs around. An assistant of mine, Tom, he came over to me and said, Sal, I have to ask you a question. Have you been always this compassionate? Have you always been this enthusiastic? Because I've only known you for a couple of months, but it comes out so real. And I says to him, I developed it over the years, and it started in 1967 when I was 12 years old and I got left back from school because my grades were very low. And then when my family moved, we moved to Lindenhurst, Long Island. I went to the ninth grade, but after the ninth grade, after that year, I got put back again because my grades were very low. And so, being that I was born in May, I turned 20 years old when I graduated high school, and I actually was drafted into the Army the same year. And in 1967, I went to Vietnam. And that's when I learned a lot about compassion because some of the guys that I was with in my platoon, we got so close and they saved my life 3 times and I helped save their lives a couple of times and we had each other's back. And the only regret that I have is that some of them didn't get to come home. But in 1969, I met my wife. And she was the love of my life. She urged me to go to college, and I did at night, and I got a master's degree in human relations. And we have 3 children, a beautiful house, and I told Tom I love my life. 4 years later, in 1989, my wife Linda was diagnosed with lymphoma cancer, and she struggled to see her lose her hair, to see herself get depressed and weak. In 1991, my wife died at 41 years old. My sister lived in California most of her life, and then she moved to Nevada. So I used to visit her a few times, but most of the time we talked on the phone. She was always there for me. She helped me out financially. She helped me out with the kids. She did so much, and she was my rock. She was a rock, and she kept on telling me, "You like to write books. You love to do public speaking. Continue that." But I kept on being absorbed into the fact that all I wanted to do was work jobs and even part-time jobs, just to put food on the table, to keep my family safe. I was trying to be also, I was a father, but I was also trying to be a mother to them, and it was difficult at times. And years went by. So finally, when she kept on urging me, she became an encourager in my life. And then in 2009, I was told I had a heart attack through some tests that they saw, my stress test. And she was right there for me. She even told me, come down to Nevada, stay with me for a while. And it was, again, I can't overemphasize how much my sister was there for me. I remember one of the things that my sister always did ever since she was a little girl is to sing happy birthday to me. In 2009, I was turning 69, and she had fun with that because she says, in one more year, I'll be 70, haha, because at that time she was 71. And she sang happy birthday to me. And I never forget, after she sang it to me on the phone, I says to her, yeah, I love the way you sing happy birthday to me, but you always sing off key. And she laughed, but she yelled at me first. But then she laughed, and it was a beautiful, beautiful conversation that we had. The next day I went to church because I continue to want to build a relationship with the Lord because I know God loves me very much, and I wanted that relationship. When I got home from church the next day, after she sang happy birthday to me, I got a phone call that my sister had died of a heart attack. You know, people become bitter when they lose a lot of loved ones, when they have a lot of difficult situations to face in life. I don't want to be bitter. I want to be better. The Lord, for some reason, moved to a warmer climate, financial reasons. I moved to South Carolina a year after my youngest daughter, Kelly, moved to South Carolina. And here I am in front of all of you, joining Toastmasters again. And I could say that, yeah, I lost a lot of loved ones, but no, I appreciated every moment that I spent with them because I didn't lose them. They're still here and they'll always be here. And that's how I developed my compassion. And I'm very honored to be here in Toastmasters with all of you. And I'm looking forward to hearing all your talks. And I want and even your roller coaster talks, because in that way we can share our compassion together. Mr. Toastmaster.